I buried my husband. Then 3 nights later, his dog dug him back up. Hi, I'm Evelyn, and if you're over 60 and still believe life can punch you in the gut, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. This is the Never Too Late channel, where the best chapters sometimes start with the darkest nights. My husband Richard died on a rainy Thursday in April. 42 years together, gone in 9 brutal months of leukemia. We'd been criminal defense attorneys in Charlottesville, the kind who still believed in second chances. When the end came, he made me promise 2 things: stay in our house on Oak Ridge Lane and take the dog he'd secretly arranged for me. The dog showed up the day after the funeral. Retired Detective Tom Hargrove, Richard's oldest friend, pulled up in his battered Silverado with a massive black and tan German Shepherd in the back seat. "This is Ranger," Tom said, voice thick. Richard picked him out himself. "Said you'd need someone who never misses a lie." I laughed through tears. A dog? I was 71, freshly widowed, and barely remembering to eat. But Ranger stepped out of the truck like he already owned the place, pressed his head against my hip, and refused to leave my side. 2 weeks later, my son-in-law Caleb started coming around to help. Caleb was charming when he wanted to be, tall, polite, always offering to mow or fix something. He told me he wanted to build a small memory garden for Richard in the backyard, something with river stones and lavender. I thought it was sweet. Ranger hated him instantly. Every time Caleb showed up with his shovel and landscape plans, Ranger planted himself between us and growled low enough to rattle my teeth. Caleb laughed it off at first, but I saw the way his smile froze. By week 3, he was insisting I lock Ranger in the laundry room while he worked. Big dogs make me nervous, Evelyn. You understand. The garden went in fast, too fast. Caleb dug the beds deeper than any lavender needed, muttering about proper drainage. Ranger lost his mind trying to get at one corner bed. He tore up freshly laid sod, shredded irrigation lines, sat there at 3 a.m. howling until neighbors texted me. Caleb's visits turned angry. "That animal is dangerous. You can't control him. At your age." "I'm 71, not dead, Caleb." Then came the Thursday I spent all day at my sister's in Richmond. I came home to find Caleb on my porch, left arm wrapped in bloody towels, face the color of ash. "He mauled me," he whispered, holding up a plain gray urn. I had no choice. I took him to the emergency vet. They recommended putting him down immediately. I handled it so you wouldn't have to. My knees buckled. Ranger, Richard's last gift, gone because I'd left the house for 6 hours. Caleb set the urn on my kitchen island like it was a casserole. "I'm so sorry, Evelyn. I was protecting you." Then he left before I could scream. That night the house sounded wrong. No clicking nails, no soft dog sigh from the hallway. I sat on the floor holding Ranger's collar and cried until my ribs hurt. At 2:17 a.m., I heard it, frantic scraping in the backyard. I grabbed Richard's old revolver from the nightstand and crept to the glass door. Moonlight poured over the memory garden. Something huge was tearing into the corner bed where Ranger had always fixated, dirt flying like a machine. It was Ranger. Alive. Covered in mud, eyes wild, digging like the hounds of hell were behind him. I ran outside barefoot. "Ranger." He glanced at me once, a look that said finally, then went back to work. I dropped to my knees beside him, shoved my hands into the cold earth, and helped. We dug until my fingers bled, until we hit something hard. Metal. A lockbox the size of a briefcase. My trembling hands found the key taped under the lid, Richard's old office key. Inside, a flash drive. A stack of photographs, bank records, and a handwritten letter in Richard's shaky scrawl. *EV. If Ranger ever brings you here, it means Caleb finally showed who he is. Everything you need to put him away is on the drive. Embezzlement from the firm, the life insurance policy he forged in Lauren's name, the bruises he thought long sleeves could hide. I was too weak to stop him, but you're not. Protect our girl. I love you always. Ranger sat back on his haunches, tongue lolling, as if to say job complete. I looked at the dog, my husband's last witness, his final closing argument, and understood why Richard had waited until the very end to bring him home. Caleb thought he'd buried the evidence 6 feet deep with the lavender. He forgot some dogs dig for the truth. And some widows, when pushed far enough, bite harder than any shepherd ever could.